You people always find new ways to fake documents. The words echoed across the courtroom. Alexis Monroe stood frozen, her blouse still damp from the water Alan Chase had accidentally spilled on her minutes earlier. The room had gone quiet, but the sting of laughter from the defense side still rang in her ears. Alexis wasn't just a grieving widow. She was a mother, a homeowner, and now a woman fighting to keep the only home her daughter had ever known. Chase, the smug white attorney, leaned back, smirking as he motioned to the supposed expert witness. She forged the deed. Look at the name. It's not even real. Alexis tightened her grip on her late husband's Bible, feeling the folded letter inside pressing into her palm. Her voice trembled, but she whispered to herself, "Not today. Not again." A ripple of murmurs swept the courtroom as Chase continued, "Your Honor, this is a waste of the court's time." Alexis stood up. Her chair scraped loudly against the floor. The judge raised an eyebrow. "Ms. Monroe?" She walked forward, slowly, every step heavy with memory. "I have one document left to share," she said. "It's not a legal one, but it's the only thing I have." Chase scoffed, "Another story." But Alexis opened the Bible and carefully unfolded a worn letter, handwritten, with ink smudged from age and grief. "My husband wrote this the day before his stroke," she said, her voice steady now. "He knew they'd come for this house, and he knew who." Her eyes locked onto Ethan Roque, her husband's cousin who had stayed silent until now. The courtroom tensed. "This letter," Alexis continued, "details how Ethan tried to get him to sign the property over under false pretenses. He refused. That's why you're here, isn't it, Ethan?" The man shifted, face flushing. The judge motioned for the letter. As he read it, Chase's confidence began to crack. "This isn't admissible," he barked, but the judge ignored him. Instead, he asked, "Who notarized this?" Alexis pulled out a second sheet. "Librarian at Milltown Branch. She's here today." A quiet gasp. The doors opened. An elderly black woman stepped in, walking straight to the bench. "That's my signature," she said firmly, "and I remember the day he came in." The courtroom fell dead silent. Chase's smirk disappeared. It wasn't over. Not yet. Chase called a recess. During the break, Alexis returned to her seat, only to find the letter gone. Panic surged. She looked up and saw Roque leaving through the back. "Hey," she called, but he was gone. The judge noticed the commotion and summoned security. "This court won't be manipulated," he declared. But Alexis's hands were trembling now. Everything was falling apart again. Then Lily, her 12-year-old daughter, tugged her sleeve. "Mom," she whispered, "I made a copy." From her backpack, she pulled out a folded paper. "I didn't want to lose it." Alexis broke into tears. The judge called the court back into session, and Alexis stood tall once more. The real evidence was back on the table. Alan Chase tried one final tactic, discrediting the librarian, claiming dementia. But as she stood and looked him in the eye, she spoke one sentence that shattered the illusion. "You were the intern in that office. I remember your face." The room froze. The judge leaned forward. "Is that true, Mr. Chase?" No answer. Alexis didn't gloat. She didn't even smile. She just turned to Lily, brushed back her curls, and whispered, "We're going home." The judge ruled in her favor. As the courtroom emptied, Alexis left behind one thing on the bench, the original letter, a silent offering, a reminder. Outside, the breeze lifted her scarf gently. For the first time in months, she breathed deeply. And in that silence, they finally heard her. Thanks for watching this video. Alexis Monroe didn't raise her voice. She didn't seek revenge. But through quiet strength, she protected her home, her daughter, and her dignity. This story reminds us sometimes truth needs no defense louder than presence. Stand your ground. Someone is always watching, even when they pretend not to see. If this story touched you, leave a comment below. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and share with someone who still believes in justice.